Before we get started, I want to give a quick thank you to all of my supporters over on Patreon. If you're interested in supporting me further, please check the link in the description. Now, I hope you all enjoy the video. Well. You think I hadn't noticed you? Sitting all alone in the corner. I had noticed you far before you thought I had. I'm quite perceptive like that. Then again, I tend to keep an eye out for people like you, sitting alone in the corners, your eyes always wandering. It's people like you that make the most interesting clients. Would you care for a dance? You would? Well, then if you would have me, it would be my honor to dance for you. Private or public? Private? Then be my guest. I'll show you to one of our private rooms. That way we can have all the privacy that you desire. Here we go. A private room all to ourselves. Now would you prefer your dance? Lap, pole, perhaps something a bit more intimate? Oh, sit down next to you. Of course. So you had the more intimate option in mind. Well, how can I help? Relieve you of your burdens. Oh God, what's wrong? Don't cry. Come here. I'll just hold you. I'm sorry, what's wrong? Or don't say anything at all. That's all right. Just let it all out. Shh. It's all right. Everything's gonna be just fine. Right here. Just let it all out. It's all right. I'm not going anywhere. I promise. Hey. It's all right. Don't you dare say things like that. You're not worthless. Everyone has value. Every life is valuable, including your own. Why don't we start from the beginning? What's got you so bothered? I assume you asked for me so you could talk, so talk to me. What's wrong? I see. Family problems. Is there anything else, or is it just that? Relationships as well. I get how that can be. Being a dancer isn't all fun, you know. Makes holding down a stable relationship certainly difficult, so I understand that. Though in a bit of a different context, I suppose. Well, I tell you what, you may not believe it, but it takes a lot of courage to speak to someone, whether it be me in this context or any other. It takes a lot of courage and self-introspection to realize that you need to speak with someone. And that is something I am certainly proud of you for. And it's something you should be proud of yourself for. I know it may not seem the same, or like it doesn't mean as much because I am what I am, or because we're in the circumstances we are, but it still means a lot that you were able to find the courage to speak out. And I'm thankful you chose me. It means a lot that you trusted me like that. I know how tough it can be, so I'm very proud of you for being able to do that. And like I said, you should be too. Now, do you simply want me to be here with you? Or do you want me to offer advice? Offer advice. Alright, well, let's start with family issues. To me, family doesn't really matter. Not in the traditional sense, anyway. To me, whoever you share blood with, DNA with, doesn't really matter. It's all about the family you choose to surround yourself with, not the family that you're forced into, you know? Just because your mother and father brought you into this world doesn't mean you owe them anything. Same with the rest of your family. If anything, they owe you everything, since it's because of them that you're here. You know that whole I didn't ask to be born thing. As cliche as it is to say. Then on to relationships. Well, if this person doesn't love you for who you are, then they simply aren't worth the time. As shitty as it may sound to say, if they don't love you for who you are, then they aren't worth it. There are certain things about ourselves that we aren't willing to change, and that's okay. Everyone has boundaries that they aren't willing to cross or change, and that is okay. Because that's part of who we are. There's no shame in that. As sucky as it is, if no compromise can be made, then sometimes we just gotta dust our hands off and move on. As hard as it can be, and trust me, I know how hard it can be. However, the important thing to understand is that it isn't your fault. No matter what that little voice in your head tells you, it is not your fault. You are valid in feeling whatever way you do, and you are valid in approaching the situation in whatever way you feel necessary. Though the only thing I can say is to remain true to yourself and to never change your core beliefs and boundaries for someone else. Otherwise, you lose sight of who you really are and become what everyone else wants you to be. If you do that, you'll end up miserable. And who you are is someone worthy of being proud of. You'll find that person for you someday. I'm certain of it. It may take a little while, but that's okay. Because you'll find them, and true love is well worth the wait. when you find that person, they will love you for every bit of who you are, without any exceptions or limitations or expectations. Or at least, that's what I try and believe, anyway. Oh. Though, are you feeling better? Your tears seem to have dried up, so I'll assume that you're feeling at least a little better. Good, good. Just try and relax. I'm proud of you. I'm not going anywhere until you're ready. No, payment? Cash? No. You're not paying me a dime. I would have done this whether I was at work or not, and whether I expected payment or not. Don't worry about paying me. Like I said, I would have done this regardless of whether I was here or not, because you deserve it. Now close your eyes and try to relax. I'll sit here with you until you're ready. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, consider liking and subscribing for more audio roleplays such as these in the future. On the right side of your screen, you can find another video by me if you're eager for more. And with that, good night, my spiders.